Really tickled with the outcome of this game and how we played, especially considering that we've been out for a while. Like I said, had no idea how we'd come out, but we really our defensive pressure and intensity was good. We turned them over 13 times the first half, and they'd been playing well. Their UCLA had a chance to beat them, and with Carlson coming back, I really tickled that we were able to separate in that game, and good win for us.
Jamie Bennett, go ahead.
Defense, rebounding, taking care of the ball.
Yes, we did. Other than driving the ball to the baseline, stepping out of bounds, I thought we were really good on taking care of the ball. That's our recipe, and we didn't shoot it well. But I think we got on the offensive boards. Yes, we did. And Ty had the flurry. They just separated the game. That's like I said, like he was 0 for 6 first half. It's like we can't expect. I mean, don't be hard on yourselves. Who knows? I mean, no, we're uncharted territory. How much time we've been off and that stuff. And he always guards and he does a good job. And then I told him, I said, when you bang shots, it's hard to beat us. And he didn't shoot a great percentage, but that little flurry just kind of gave us the cushion we needed.
Just in terms of the offensive rebounding, 18 offensive boards, you forced 19 turnovers. Just how, when you look at that, it sounds like an obvious question, but how much easier is it to win a basketball game to do that?
Getting extra possessions, and our guys that were actually more healthy did play well, that had more practice time. Andre, Muhammad, Noah had been he was really good first half and did a good job. But most of the others are they're a little behind, but it was good. But it was nice that I thought FA played great, and we were just active, man. I didn't, like I said, Colorado State went off their pause, got beat 30, and you don't know what's going to happen. Our guys, I thought, played great.
Noah ends up with 10 points, 4 boards, couple assists, couple steals, couple turnovers, technical foul, took some charges. Noah Williams in a nutshell, kind of right there.
Par. We need him, and he's a good player, and he does some great things. The steals were big in the first half, like got us gives us offense. Especially when we're making shots and we're able to create some offense of our defense. He's a big part of that. So, let's go, Noah.
I think you said after the Stanford game, Andre missed his first couple shots and then just stopped shooting. You said that was kind of uncharacteristic of him. He hits the first 2, then he misses a few in a row, but he keeps shooting and ends up with 15 points over his last 7, averaging 9, and that includes, that COVID game against Colorado. Just the growth and the maturity for Andre, not even so much as in the physical tools and the actual on-court stuff, but just the mental side of things. How much of that have you noticed?
Yeah, I think anyone that watches us play, I'm sure even you as a beat writer or whatever you want to call yourself, would notice.
Wow. Okay, then, coach.
Hey, you're not a coach. No, you can see him. You can see guys. He's just growing in almost like your body language and how he is, and it's nice because he's a guy that, you don't know what I can imagine. I always say, like, I would never, if I was a good hockey player, it's not like I would have moved to Finland and learned how to play hockey and learn the language and do that stuff. So he's really committed to being good and going through that last year. Now you can see, I just think he has a confidence about him. I think he's saying just keep playing and just feel really good when he's out there.
How many sort of standard practice sessions did you guys have from the start of the pause?
I'd say 1.5. It was. We were trying to squeeze the Oregon State game in Monday, and we just had guys, where if they're symptomatic, and so it's like they can't get cleared to practice, and we didn't have our 7 or whatever. But if everything would have gone perfect when we started getting the positives, we thought, well, maybe we can. The first it was like, well, we push that Oregon State game to Sunday, we play it, and then it's like, let's try for Monday, and then it was like, Doc said, hey, you guys can't do it, and so we had like Sunday. We were almost there, and then I guess more like two good 2 that we had guys.
Did you see some of the lack of prep time come out early in the game, or how did you think they reacted to it?
Pretty good. We did our defensive transition a couple times, and just a little sluggish on a couple plays, but that could be. If you had that long a pause, just games and you were practicing, that could happen. So it's hard to predict, but overall, I'm really happy.
On Ty's that 7-minute spree there, How, I guess, satisfying is it that was that one reason why he was recruited, is because you knew he could kind of single-handedly turn a game like that if he gets the hot hand, and how satisfying is it to see him do that?
Yeah, I just always go back to like it's UC San Diego was a really good program and a really good league, and they were 30-1. He had 45 in a playoff or an NCAA playoff game, I believe. So you're going to have a confidence about doing that, and I think each one of those little flurries he has is going to. It change. He does what he hasn't learned, or not. What he's learning is that when you do that, you're gonna have a 6'5" guy draped on you the next night, and they're gonna take you out and learn how to deal with that. And he doesn't turn the ball over much. He had 2 assists, 1 turnover, and now he's starting to figure out find some guys on the pick and roll and penetrate middle and trying to find guys. So he's just the right kind of our kind of guy is just gonna keep getting better and better.
Coach, you talked about the defensive energy tonight, creating 19 takeaways. Do you think almost not playing for so long kind of created that excitement to be back and create some of that defensive energy?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's also that we should be past it. The COVID, look, just the numbers. You got 90 days, and we might lose. We won't lose enough guys to have to do a pause or whatever. We might lose a guy for 5 days or whatever it is. But we're pretty much like, hey, this is our team. This is our schedule. It's a relief there, not up in the air like, oh, we got a positive, and you're like, oh, we got to wait and see if there's more. So we've I think as far as less things change, that's kind of relief. You can just kind of point forward and try to play games.
Yeah, we used a 4-guard lineup multiple times tonight. I was just wondering what led to the decision to play small ball tonight.
Well, we don't have Deshaun.
Right.
So it's like FA and so they're going to use they only went 8 tonight. Or 9 fouls? They only have 10. They'd like to use them all. They go for it. So it's like I like to play them together, but it's like I can't afford to in the sense that 8 is just and it was working well. And I think we were really first time against Utah, and they made some adjustments. They guarded us better. When we spread them out a little bit, we made a bunch of baskets, and we were just DJ and Andre kind of spread the floor when they played forward, and we were able to move the ball, and they did a better job guarding us than that. But against them, I think they played small too for the most part. They played Anthony at the 4 most of the game, and Madsen and stuff. So it was kind of a good matchup for us.
So with Deshaun out for the next couple of weeks with the eye injury, how do you plan on filling up the center rotation?
I think what we did tonight. I think it's and we had 6 fouls between the two of them with a lot of game. And Matt came in there and grabbed a board. He had a nice assist first half. We're in foul trouble, and he worked pretty good offensively. He's in there, and he had a couple breakdowns, defensive coverages that Coach Shaw will be addressing. That he already gave it to him a little bit. So, but I have confidence in the guy. The guy works too hard, and he can. Like I said, UCLA doesn't get to the Final Four without Nwuba, and his guy that had to play for him didn't play a lot, but he's kind of that. That's kind of an important position. You get you got 2 centers that are in foul trouble, and you got to have to burn some minutes with your third center. Do a good job.
Austin Getz online. Go ahead. Maybe.
Hey, Coach, the moment there where Tyrell hits the jumper at the elbow and the bench is just going crazy. With all these guys have gone through, what does it mean to look down the bench and see them having fun like that?
I like this team a lot. They enjoy one another. They have fun. And I expressed to them when we have our little song at the end of the win. I'm like, hey, don't ever get tired of it. Winning, don't ever get bored with that, and it's just that's who they are. Coming to halftime, they got to do. They're singing. Before the game, they're singing. So they enjoy one another, and that's good to see. I think we've been pretty good that way all year.
Jamie Vinnick, go ahead.
Coach Shaw sleeping well tonight. 15-16 from the line.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get his attention when Bamba was at the line. He wouldn't even listen. I was talking about something else, and he just was so glued to the free throw and. Bamba got it, and it's like he woke up. It's like, okay, we got the free throw, we're good. But yeah, it was great. We outshot them. It's hard to do. They're a really good foul shooting team.
And then just the other thing I meant to ask a second ago, Mike only goes 1 for 10, uncharacteristic for Mike. Still leads the team in plus 24, 1 turnover. just the veteran resolve of a guy like that, to not have his best shooting. And they were, and I don't think, and maybe you disagree, they were bad looks or anything. I think he took his normal shots, but for him to still lead the team in plus minus despite a bad offensive night, I mean, what does that speak to his?
It's just what it is. Like if he's gonna, I talked to him about it and his leadership and playing that position, being a point guard, and he's one of the guys that had a short break too. It's like it's hard to run the team. It's hard to guard all the time. It's hard to do all that and be really efficient offensively. So like I said, some of the trade out this year, our best option. You're good. You're a best player in the pick and roll. You have most veteran leadership, that stuff, and you had to take a couple bad ones into the clock, and that kind of comes with the job too. But if that's a sacrifice. You came here. He said he wanted to win, be the best he can be. I said, well, that's what we need you to do. And he's very, as you know, he doesn't change his expression much, and he's a very steady competitor.